So hello everyone, welcome to another video. So in this video let's learn what REST APIs are. Okay, so in order to make it simpler, I come up with the article that I read and I felt like this is better in order to understand what RESTful APIs are. So basically, in simple words, if I have to tell you what RESTful APIs are, it is some sort of guidelines that is being given that you can possibly modify it based on the users of it. Okay, so let's look into the definition given here. A RESTful API is an application programming interface that confirms the constraint of REST architecture style and allowed to interact with the RESTful API. So basically, it's like set of guidelines that you should be following in order to maintain the standards between the client and the server. Okay, so in order to understand RESTful APIs, first let's learn about what APIs are in general. So there is a one word answer to that. Is like it's a contract between the information user and the information provider. That means if you have a server and there is somebody who is using your API, there is a contract between you two, that what kind of input I can expect and what kind of output you can expect from me. Okay, so in order to explain, you can go through the definition given here, but I will give you a one word explanation towards it. So let's suppose if you are developing a weather API, what you can expect is you can possibly give a you can tell your user that you give me a zip code and I will give you the highest temperature of that zip code and the lowest temperature of that zip code. So that's like a contract between us, that what you can expect from me and what I am expecting as a input from you. Okay, so moving further, we have what is REST now. Okay, because RESTful API is like REST API we have understood. Now it's time for us to understand what REST are. So again, there's a very complicated explanation, but I will give you a very simple solution to that. It's like it's a architecture. Okay, so you have built a constraint for a particular, see, you are following some sort of steps, but there are some guidelines. Okay, you can give me an input and based on your input I can possibly modify my output in the same API. Okay, that is something what REST talk about. Okay, so REST can give you output in these many formats, like JSON you can expect an output, HTML, XLT, Python, PHP. So there are so many. Okay, so it's very language agnostic in that way. That means you can expect any sort of language. It's not language dependent. That is what language agnostic means. So basically these are the set of guidelines for the RESTful APIs. Let me just walk you through with few of them. A client server architecture made up of client server and resources with request managed through HTTP. So it expect a client and a server with some sort of resources that it is dealing with, and it should be managed through HTTP. Second could be stateless client server communication, meaning no client information is stored between get request and each request in separate. So basically no storage of get request is done between. Okay, and so basically you won't get to know what kind of, where the data is coming from, how the data is coming from. At the end of the day you are getting the data. That it don't matters for us. And similar to this, you can just read about it. If you have any doubt, you can just write a comment in the video. I can possibly answer that in a very layman's term so that it will be easier for you to understand. So basically the plus point that you are having with REST is like code on demand, the ability to send executable code for the server to client when requested, extend the client functionality. Okay, basically based on the kind of input modifications that you are doing, obviously well understood by the server also, because while designing the server there is a set of documentation that I have built. So based on the document, after reading the documentation, you can make the changes accordingly, and based on that I can possibly help you with the output of it. Okay, so as I was talking about this from the very beginning, REST is a set of guidelines that can be implemented as needed, as simple as that. So yeah, that will be all about RESTful APIs. If you have any comment, just if you have any doubts, you can simply comment. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Thank you.